Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for
Noah, where are you?
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for another edition of Pro Acoustics Tech Talk. I'm Nathan.
I'm Colton.
And we are here today to talk to you all about remote zone mixer amplifiers, how they work, how we can use them for your benefit, what they can do for you, and just some of their applications. All right, so Colton, what do we have here today?
All right, bud, we have Pure Resonance Audio RZMA120BT. And right to my right, we have a Speako PL200M. And we really want to kind of decipher what the features are with this guy over here. This is going to be one of our favorites over here, and the Speako PL200M, and really dive deep into these guys and get you all the knowledge that you'll be needing to make a decision on which one's going to be perfect for what you're doing. So Nathan, kind of go over with me what this guy's story is. Why do we like it so much? And why do we think people will like it so much?
Yeah, you got it. So the RZMA120BT is one of my favorite products. Worked on the team on this one.
Okay.
Basically, we've got a 4-zone mixer amp with 120 watts available per output. If you checked out our video a couple weeks ago, we did a basic 70-volt system where I had 2 zones, basically 2 different volume zones, so you can adjust the level inside the restaurant, also outside the restaurant.
Yep.
Well, this takes it up to the next level, cranks it up a notch.
A little bit.
Now we're actually routing the input sources to different areas. So what's that mean? Basically, like I mentioned, you got your 4 zones. Those 4 zones are 120 watts at high impedance 70 volt or low impedance 4 ohm. Or any combination thereof between the zones. So you can do high impedance mains on one side and then do some low impedance subwoofers on the other. Do that a lot in some local breweries been working with as far as that goes.
That makes sense.
And then you've got this input routing that I mentioned. That allows you to actually route any of those inputs to any of the 4 zones or any combination thereof. So what's that mean? If you've got, a normal restaurant, you might want to be able to play background music in the main dining room, have a little bit different music playing on the entry area, maybe even have the hostess be able to page to just the front area, say, hey, your table's ready without interrupting the guys in the back.
Yeah.
Sports bar needs to be able to play the big game. And then the outdoor patio's got some different music playing. Sometimes you need the game, sometimes you just need the music. But at closing time, you need to be able to shut it off because you don't want to bug the neighbors, get the cops out there.
Exactly.
So the RZMA lets you do that, no problem.
Cool.
It's got 3 selectable mic or line level inputs. That means you can hook up microphones. You can also hook up line level sources like cable boxes, Blu-ray players, CD players, XM radio receivers, things like that. And then you've also got a couple of spare RCA inputs also. It also does have our favorite Bluetooth media player built in. So you've got Bluetooth streaming, you've got an SD card and a USB input. You've also got FM tuner, and all of that portion can be controlled by an infrared remote. There's also some really cool stuff on this unit where we can actually record to that USB and SD card. If you're interested in that, you're going to want to make sure and reach out to us about that for the time being. That's for another video.
Another conversation.
But cool stuff that can be done. You've also got mic 1 is a priority, so that gives you the ability to mute your other sources. And then you've also got 600 ohm telephone input for connecting a feed from a phone system. And then you've also got line level outputs on all of those zones. So line level outputs, what are those for? So I can take this mixer amp and actually allow any of those zones to drive additional amp channels so that I can do tons of speakers.
No, you can't.
Yeah, no. So we can do even bigger restaurants. We can do we've been doing some cool baseball field complexes with these, you know, quadplexes, 10plexes, things like that. And then you can also use this for large scale paging beyond, you know, the hospital or retail or that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
We also have our PMZ16, which is our remote paging microphone. These can be daisy chained with just conventional Ethernet cable, and they have first the ability to page to any or all of the 4 zones, and then also built-in chime to maybe make a tone. You know, if you think about if you're in a department store or something like that, you hear the tone overhead, you know there's about to be an announcement. In hospitals, that kind of thing. Yeah,
that's a game changer.
So very popular unit there. If you have questions about how you can implement that, definitely reach out to us and give us a call. But with both of these units, like I described, routing the inputs to one zone or another couldn't be easier. You basically have, you know, your rows of inputs, and you have big white buttons or black buttons in the case over there, where you just push the button, the light glows to tell you it's been routed to that particular zone.
Easy.
Yeah, very simple to do. Once again, you can trust a hostess, a bartender, a manager, anybody like that to route these types of systems and have it go where it needs to.
Let's knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. But very simple. And the alternative, if you're curious, there are options for like digital signal processing and things like that, which we do love. We sell lots of those types of products from lots of our manufacturers. But to set it up, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to have some pretty in-depth programming, whereas some of these analog solutions, very simple, and we can walk you through anything over the phone that you might get stuck on, and definitely get rock and rolling what you need.
For sure, sure.
I guess we should move it on over here. We've got the Speako PL200M. Very similar in a lot of ways. 4-zone mixer amp. Everything I said about the analog input routing stays the same. Very similar in terms of number of inputs, but you don't have the Bluetooth media player. You also don't have the ability to hook up the super cool PMZ16. But you still have got your 600 ohm inputs, your line level or mic level inputs, your music sources, and then you've got outputs on all the zones. And with this one, you have 40 watts per channel, low impedance or high impedance, instead of the 120 watts per channel. Yeah, we wanted to make sure and give you plenty under the hood with the RZMA120BT. Street price on that guy, you're looking at around $999, available on our website, and then also available on our online channels as well. Check out our Amazon store if you'd like. Whereas the Speako falls in a little bit underneath that. Same basic great concept, a little bit less wattage, drive fewer speakers, or maybe not as high a wattage of speakers. And still very, very convenient, very helpful. Got tons of these out in the field, and it's a great product. But if you're after the bells and whistles and need the big horsepower, RZMA120BT is the way to go. And you also get the infrared remote, like I mentioned. And those are shipping now, ready to rock and roll. If we can help out with system design or recommending the appropriate product for you and what would be best for your application, pair speakers along with it and all that kind of good stuff, you can reach out to us directly. Our sales line is 888-256-4112, or you can reach me via email, nathan@proacoustics.com.
I'm Coltin at proacoustics.com. That's Coltin with an I.
Our URL is www.proacousticsusa.com. You'll find links down below for both of these products if you want to check them out. Drop us a line, let us know that you're out there. Let us know if we can talk about anything that you're interested in, what we can do to help out with any of your audio needs. And don't be a stranger now.
Until next time, I'm Coltin.
I'm Nathan.
All right.